Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons, and we're going to talk about Johnny Depp, and we're going to talk about Amber Heard, and we're going to talk about Russell Brand, and we're going to talk about entertainment from justice, entertainment from private lives. Let's go! All right. So, holy cows! Wow, this Johnny Depp Amber Heard thing has blown up into a huge spectacle. That's what it is. It's a spectacle, right? And Russell Brand, who, if you don't know, he's the new British Joe Rogan. Very fascinating guy. I really dig his stuff. He's always got something interesting to say. He's a life commentator, and I dig his show, man. He's a bright guy. I really like his stuff. But he said, hey, you know what's happening today? We are considering justice as entertainment, and we are considering other people's private lives as entertainment. Those are facts. That's just facts now, man. There ain't no way to see it but that, right? We are beyond should we, could we, right? It's just what is. It is a fact of what is. That's all it is, right? Just a fact of what is. That is, of going about, people going about their business and doing their thing, right? So you have, this is happening, right? And there are literally millions of people watching this. I have a friend who's watching every minute of the trial. So I didn't know what to do with this story. I was very interested in this story because I'm an absolutely massive Johnny Depp fan. From the gate, man, 21 Jump Street, Pirates of the Caribbean, his Harry Potter work, a whole lot more. Oh, Edward Scissorhands, man, Edward Scissorhands. Every single thing he did with Tim Burton, right? I'm a huge Johnny Depp fan. You want to hear how serious I am as a Johnny Depp fan? You want to know what my favorite role of Johnny Depp's is? Tonto in The Lone Ranger. Not kidding. That is my favorite role he's ever done. I loved the movie Lone Ranger. I'm the only person on the planet that liked that movie. I swear. That thing, no one liked that movie. I love that movie. And I thought Johnny Depp in the role of Tonto was absolutely fantastic. Brilliant. Okay? By the way, I'm mad at Panay. Reservation deep. I'm mad at Panay. Right? So I'm a Native American. I love that film. All right? That's all I'm saying. All right? I love Johnny Depp's work. No two ways about it. I have a little bit of a beef with Amber Heard's work. And it's minor, but I'll say it here. The only thing I know Amber Heard from is she was in Aquaman, and I cannot believe Aquaman made $1 billion, but Batman v Superman couldn't make $1 billion. What is the world we live in when Aquaman makes $1 billion, but other Batman films don't? I'm like, what happened here, right? So I'm just frustrated with that Aquaman even exists. I detest the fact that Aquaman made $1 billion, and there are legitimate DC, Warner Brothers Batman films that didn't make, including the latest, that didn't make $1 billion. It drives me crazy. I do not like it. All right, so I started just ignoring this thing because I'm like, you know what? I just feel bad for both these people, and this thing is terrible. The whole situation is just a hot mess. And I tried to listen and try to connect to the story, but I couldn't. I just couldn't find anybody who was explaining in one succinct way what was happening until I found the video below. Heavy Spoilers did an absolutely fantastic summary of what's been going on, right? It's all explained in 15 minutes. So I listened to it, I watched it, and my biggest takeaway, right, is a warning for us as a D&D community. It has already started in our community. We need to all acknowledge that if you become a writer on any Dungeons and Dragons property, and this is not the case on any D&D, first of all, there are no new D&D then. New D&D then actually, I'm wrong about that. I was about to say D&D then content doesn't get new material. That is wrong. Frog God Games makes new material. So D&D then, this does happen on D&D then, okay? D&D copy, nobody cares about your stuff. There's no celebrities in your corner. But D&D then content and D&D now, if you are writing anything, right, for D&D now, you are immediately a celebrity. Legit. Millions of people can know your name or will know your name the next day. Literally on the announcement of your product, you have become a celebrity, all right? And this is a real thing. We have some infamous people in D&D now. We got one dude whose name was stripped from the player handbook, right? So you have an old copy of the book, his name's in it. You got the new copy of the book, his name's out, right? I don't even remember that guy's name. Mike Merle's celebrity fell, right? Like, there's some, the shine on his name there's some scruffs on it now, right? I'm still a huge super fan of Mike Merle's because of what he accomplished for D&D. And when it comes to his game design work, darn near peerless, okay? And then Kate Welch, huge celebrity, right? And I truly believe she was cued to be the first female design lead on D&D. Massive mystery around her name, and I'm not kidding. I think there will be a book written about why she left someday. And there's no question, she is going to be in doctoral theses, in history books, in academic books, because of the part she played in Dungeons & Dragons. Kate Welch, celebrity, right? And this is only going to continue. We are going to see people who become D&D writers or artists or layout people, right? Or brand managers or anything, right? And then when they get a bump in with the law, it's going to become a huge story. And their private lives are going to become entertainment, right? And we're beyond the discussion of should and would, right? It's going to happen. It's going to happen. So what we need to do is, as commentators, now start a discussion of how do we deal with this in a respectful way. Ignoring it's ridiculous. If some D&D writer does something that makes it onto the first page of the New York Times, there ain't no way in heck Nerd Immersion isn't going to talk about it. Dungeon Craft isn't going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it. So what it behooves us to do is start the conversation today on how we deal with D&D justice conversations and D&D private live conversations, because they are coming, right? So there is the discussion of whether this should happen. That's already gone. It's already happening constantly, right? That ship has sailed. The only question is, how do we respectfully, honorably, ethically talk about these subjects? Because it is definitely coming. It's just a matter of time, right? And I do think we as D&D commentators need to start to have this discussion. I'm just acknowledging that this Amber Heard, Johnny Depp situation, honestly, we've already seen one of these, and people just don't even know what happened because it's too in the weeds. I know what happened. We already had a situation similar to this, right? But nobody's even discussing it, right? And that's okay. We can let that one pass, but I guarantee you the number of people who are working on D&D, the amount of celebrity that continues to be attached to D&D, we as D&D commentators need to start having discussions on how we're going to handle this going forward, how to do it ethically, honorably, respectfully. That's my opinion. And I'd love to hear your thoughts. How do we do this better than the mainstream media? Because we're not unimportant like the mainstream media. We're D&D commentary. We're important. So we should be ready for this when it comes into our neighborhood. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.